And your host again.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day and a great weekend, Sharon.
All right, I'm gonna wait just a second
Okay.
to make sure. I have something weird coming on, so I told Melissa I'd let her know. And I always give it just a few minutes because
All
it
right.
doesn't show it live for me immediately. So we'll just wait just a second and then I'll
It
be,
shows live on my screen.
yeah, it's just something I have that I'm saving so I can show her.
All righty.
Thank you. You have a great class.
Thanks.
There it goes.
We've got people coming in already. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Friday morning core class. This class is taught seated, so you'll need a hardback chair, like a kitchen type of chair, one that's not too soft, but you'll use what you have. We'll work with whatever you have.
Okay.
22 people already in class this morning. Amazing. You guys are wonderful. And I love that so many of you are letting me see your faces and your workout spaces, because when I'm doing the exercises and I can look out and see you guys are moving, I love that. Please remember that I'm not close to the screen, so I can't read anything in the chat. But I will have a transcript. I'll receive a transcript of the chat later, and I can check and see if there were any questions, comments, or suggestions. And I do try to address questions in an upcoming class. So remember, in addition to this 9 o'clock class, which is so late for me, it's like the day is half over already because I'm up at 5 a.m. I also teach at 8 o'clock every morning, which is also late for me, but I know that it works for most of you all. So that's what we're trying to do, is reach as many people as possible. And I love that you all are getting up and joining me for fitness in the morning. This is the best time of the day for me, and it really starts my day out on the right foot and with the right attitude. And I hope it does for you too. So once again, today's class is morning fitness, and it is our core training class. So we focus on those muscles of our core that support us and give us balance and strength throughout our whole body. And I'll talk a little bit about that as we get started. I see people coming into the class. We're up to 27 already. That is just fabulous. We had over 40 in the 8 o'clock class this morning, which was the balance and flexibility class. We did cardio in slow motion this morning, testing our balance. It's so much fun. "32 people. Yay. I guess the word is getting out about this 9:15 class. It's been slow to catch on, a little bit slower than my 8 o'clocks, but that's okay. Y'all are here, and I am thrilled. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started with the Get Set Up slides. So I have to hit share right here. And I have to move this out of the way, find my slides. That. So much to do, you guys, so much to do on the screen. It's almost too much for me. Let's move this out of the way so you can read it. Welcome to Morning Fitness, core training for strength and balance. This is the most important class I teach. That's why when I was asked to do a second class on Fridays, this is the one that I chose, because you can't get enough strength in the core of your body. I'm your guide. My name is Stacy, and I'm from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, which I've used in the school systems for many years in Maryland, actually, where I was living at the time. And I was a school counselor, and then I retired to Pennsylvania and have a very, very small, select private counseling practice here in Pennsylvania. I have been teaching fitness since the mid 1980s. And no matter what other jobs I've done, I've always kept my hand in fitness, either as a group instructor or a personal trainer. And I've been doing that again since the mid 1980s when I was first certified. I enjoy connecting with other adults who are also interested in fitness, who want to improve their health and overall wellness. And I especially love answering questions about fitness and specific areas of the body. Hopefully I'll be able to do that soon, as I'm working on another class that I'm going to be offering in the next few weeks that's just going to focus on answering questions. Get Set Up is a training and educational platform that helps you learn useful skills from people just like yourself, so that we can do wonderful things and continue living independently and have the confidence to try new things like joining on new sports or keeping up with our grandkids. We do learn from one another, and ideally we can see you, like I can see most of your faces and your workout spaces, and you've allowed me into your rooms this morning, into your homes, and your cameras are on, and I love it. Request a recording after class by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you're joining by live stream this morning on our website, welcome. We're glad you're here. But know that the very best way to participate is to register, to join us and sign up for a class. And that way you'll get the email after class with key takeaways, and you'll have the opportunity to provide feedback about each class. Know that Get Set Up is not paid to promote specific products or services or anything that I might talk about or demonstrate during class. Be sure to check with your doctor prior to starting any new exercise program, especially if you have any health conditions, take any medications, or are recovering from an illness or surgery. And most importantly, if your doctor has given you some specific recommendations, limitations, or restrictions regarding exercise intensity or your range of motion, be sure to follow your doctor's recommendations, not anything that I show or demonstrate in my class. My number one priority is your safety. So I offer exercises as suggestions. You take what works for you and leave the rest aside. Maybe try them on a different day. All right, I want to get started. I'm going to spotlight my screen so that you can all see me. Know that we have Max with us today. Max is the TA with Get Set Up, and he can help you with any audio or visual challenges that you might be having in getting connected, and you can reach him directly in the chat. And just as a reminder, when I'm over here in my chair demonstrating, I can't see the chat, but I'll get a transcript later if you want to leave me a comment, a question, or a suggestion, and I will try to address it in a later class. Make sure you have your water with you this morning, and I will be demonstrating the use of a fitness ball, an unweighted fitness ball today. If you have a fitness ball, you can use it. If not, you don't need one. And I'm going to try and adjust my camera just slightly here. Let me make sure that you can, there we go, see my feet when I'm sitting down. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my chair and get started. And if you guys have a chair and a fitness ball, and grab your water. And yes, I'm freezing cold today. I taught the first class in short sleeves, and I was cold and sweaty when it was over. So I have a sweatshirt on for this class, and I apologize, you may not be able to see my body and my position as well as I usually like. I'm grabbing my water here, my cards for the end of class. I'm gonna have a drink to start. setting my water aside. And we're going to start with a little bit of stretching. Let's talk about position in the chair. We're going to sit about midpoint from the back of the chair to the front edge. Find a good midpoint where you have a good range of motion with your arms and legs. Hopefully you have a chair without arms because I fear you might bang your elbows on the arms of the chair. If you have a chair with arms and that's all you have available today, no worries, just please be careful. I don't want you to hit your funny bone, and I know how painful that can be. You're sitting up nice and straight and tall, diaphragm is lifted. Your thighs extend directly out from your hips, straight forward. There's about a hip width of space between your knees, or take your hands side by side like this, and you should be able to place them in between your knees. Your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle so that your lower leg is perfectly vertical. Your feet face forward, knees face forward, literally over the midpoint of your feet. This is protection for your knees. Always making sure your knees are over your toes, because you know what? Your thigh bone and your shin bone, it's not good for your knee when they twist in opposite directions. And we've all seen some of those injuries on football if you watch. That, not good. So you always want to make sure that your thigh and your shin facing all in the same direction. That's the only way knees are meant to bend. Knees are not meant to ever twist. All right, so let's reach up nice and tall as we get started. Feeling the space between your lower ribs and the top of your hip, we're going to hinge forward from our hips with a flat back, a long spine, just hinging forward as far as you are comfortably able to reach. When you're ready, drop your hands along the sides of your legs, down toward the floor, and finally round your back over your thighs in a nice smooth C curve from your tailbone to the top of your head, and hold that long stretch through your back. Placing your hands now just above your knees on your thighs, use those arms to press your back up into a seated position so that you're not putting any stress and strain on your lower back, because we're going to do a little bit of that when we're ready, cautiously and carefully as we do some of the exercises for the core. Let's take this one more time with a nice tall reach. Access that space in here, feeling the core muscles of the abdomen, feeling them tightening up as you feel that space between your hips and your ribs, and hinge forward from the hips with a long spine, reaching, and finally allow the arms to go down along the ankles if you can reach that far, based on your hips, based on the flexibility and range of motion that you have in your hips. And finally, curve your back over into a gentle C curve from the tailbone to the top of the head. And lastly, let your head just fall forward, relaxing your shoulders and your neck. And placing your hands just above your knees, press back up into a seated position, sitting nice and tall. Let's talk a little bit about the muscles of the core that we're going to be working on today. People often think of the core as just abdominals, but actually the muscles of your core include all the muscles that attach to your spine. So yes, your abdominals are a big part of it. Certainly they're central to the core muscles, but we also include from the head down to your hips, your shoulders, upper back, mid back, lower back, and hips. Coming up the front, abdominal muscles, the diaphragm, muscles around the chest wall, and the front of the shoulders right through here. All of that are included when we speak about the core. So this class will work on all of those muscles at least a little bit. One more time, we're gonna hinge forward, but this time we're gonna stay there and we're gonna work on our very first exercise, which is seated deadlifts. So reach nice and tall and hinge forward, reaching out with a nice long back. And finally allow the hands to drop, but this time don't curve your back. Keep a flat back, a lengthened spine. And with your hands down by your legs, all we're going to do for this exercise is sit up and return to the low position. If you need support to modify this exercise, place one or both hands just above the knees and use your arms to press back up and go forward. So this exercise is a seated deadlift. It starts from the low position and goes upright and return. Lift and lower. We are working on the muscles of our hips and low back in this exercise. Lift and return with a flat back, an elongated spine. Lift and return. Lift and return. Can we just do 4 more? Lift and return. Lift and return. 2 more. Pull up and down. Last one. Lift and return. And down here in this low position, I'm going to have you just lift up so that you can place a forearm across your knees right here. And we're going to do a little bit of shoulder work, one arm at a time. So we're holding our body at 45 degrees using one arm for support. Take the other arm and allow it to hang right down here by your legs. And we're going to just lift it up to the shoulder and return. And then lift forward and return. So a side lift right here, it's a lateral side raise, and then a front side raise. So to the side, return, keeping the back lengthened, sitting at about a 45 degrees, but be sure you're leaning on that arm. Don't put extra stress and strain on your low back. That's what this arm is for here today. Lifting to the side and then forward. Now we're working the muscles of the mid back and the upper back as well as the shoulders, and lift. As you do this side lift, feel your shoulder blades slide in toward your spine. Right here, I think I've lost count. I'm sorry, but no worries. One more time. To the side and forward. Holding it here, if you're still comfortable in this position, I want you to just pull up with your hand going into your armpit and your elbow lifted and down. Pull up and down, pull up and down, lift and lower. 4 more and down, 3 more and down, just 2 and down, right here and down. And reaching down here by the ankle, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch and twist. Take the arm up to the side and keep going, twisting the torso ever so slightly. Take this arm up and reach for the ceiling. I want you to wiggle your fingers a little bit to make sure your hand is relaxed, and allow your gaze to follow your hand. So you're also looking up at the ceiling. Feel that twist from above the waist. Make sure your hips are firmly planted in the chair. Don't let one hip come up as you're doing this stretch. Feel the difference and release. Now we're going to do that series of exercises with the other hand. I need to move my ball collection out of the way. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we start with the other arm supporting your upper body with the elbow and forearm resting right above the knees on your thighs. Take the arm that we're going to be working with and allow it to hang down here by the lower leg, reaching wherever is comfortable for you. And we're going to lift to the side, return, and then forward and return. Make sure you're leaning into that supporting arm. No stress on the lower back. Lift and lower. Lift side and return. Lift front and return. Keep that back lengthened, hinging from the hips, and lower. Lift and lower. Lift side and back. Lift up and down. And up to the side, return, and keeping these movements in control so that you really feel it, especially on this side lift. Feel that shoulder blade slide in toward the spine. And then lifting right here while you keep your neck relaxed. I don't want you to hunch your shoulders at any time during this exercise. Lifting to the side, return, and then front and return. Last time to the side and down and forward and down. And now we're going to do those pull-ups right here with the elbow nice and high, pulling your hand up into your armpit and down. Pull up and down and pull. 4 more. And 3. Make sure your hips are firmly planted in the chair. We're going to do that twisting stretch. It's a torso twist. Here we go, reaching down to the ankle. Lift the arm to the side and continue with the arm reaching toward the ceiling. Wiggle your fingers so you can make sure your hand is relaxed and allow your gaze to follow your hand while your hips remain planted in the chair. And hold that stretch. Just hold it and then release. Use your arms right here on the thighs to press yourselves back up into a seated position. Now we're going to work the arms and shoulders out in front of us. We're going to do dead bug arms and we're going to do some reaching, and I'm going to demonstrate it with a fitness ball. Now remember, if you don't have a fitness ball, no worries. It's just sort of fun, and I like it in the video because I think it allows you to see my hands a little bit better and what the movement is. So I have a collection of balls I can show you. This ball, for example, is a fitness ball ordered from Amazon. It's a 9-inch diameter ball, and I like it because it's a little bit sticky. So as I want to hold it with just one hand, it's very easy for me to grab. This is a ball that I got at a drugstore for $3.99. It's about 5 or 6 inches in diameter, but it's smooth and shiny. So I feel like even though it's smaller and I can palm this ball, I feel like I would easily drop it. If you don't have a ball, an option is to use a small stuffed animal like this. It's just something to hold on to. It gives your hands the space that we need for these exercises and something to focus on. And it's fun. That's why I like it. Another alternative is you can make sort of a makeshift fitness ball by taking a bandana and stuffing it with all those unmatched socks that you don't know what to do with, and then tie the 4 corners together in a knot, and you've got a stuffed ball that you could use. I'm going to go ahead and use the yellow sticky ball today. I like this one the best. And dead bug arms is an exercise where we start with our arms straight out in front of us like a dead bug. Imagine if you were laying on your back, you would look like a dead bug in this position. And then we're going to lift up, back together, and open. So you see, you can do this without the ball. You don't really need it, but the ball is fun and it's easy for you to see. Lifting up and then open side. Now again, we are sitting nice and tall. Make sure you can feel that space between your lower ribs and your hip bones. Sitting nice and tall and accessing those muscles, feeling the muscles in your back, holding you upright. Making sure that your hips are firmly planted in the chair, giving you the support that you need. And lift. And you're breathing with me at a natural rate and rhythm. Lifting back together and open. Lift and open. Let's just do 2 more, lifting overhead and then opening side. Lifting up. And we're going to switch and do this same exercise with the other arm right here. Again, nice and tall. Make sure you have your position and you're lifting back and open right here. Lift and open side. Bring your awareness to the muscles that you're activating in this exercise. You should be feeling your shoulder lifting, feeling that shoulder blade in the back slide together anytime that you open your arm to the side. It comes in toward your spine. And this also helps counteract postural issues that sometimes happen as we get older from a lifetime of hunching our shoulders, stooping forward and doing things in front of us. So we want to counteract those postural deficiencies by strengthening our upper back and opening up our chest. Lift and return, open. Let's just do 1 more. I know I talked through the count a little bit. Lift and lower, open and return. Bring your hands in toward your waist and we're going to reach the numbers on the clock in a circle. So we're going to start at 12 and we're going to go to 1 o'clock, bring the arms in, 2 o'clock, bring the arms in, 3 o'clock, allow your torso to twist as you go to 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock is down right here beside you. 6 o'clock is down between your legs. 7 o'clock on the other side. 8 o'clock, and we're coming around. Bring it in. 9 o'clock, bring it into the side. 10 o'clock, back in. 11 o'clock, back into your center. And 12 o'clock, back in. Let's reverse directions. Start with 12 and back. Let's go to 11, back in, and 10, bring it in, and 9. 8 o'clock over here to the side, 7 o'clock down by your hip, 6 o'clock down in center, 5 o'clock over to the other side, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 12 o'clock, right up overhead. And back in. Remember, you can do these exercises without the ball. Just pretend like you have something that's holding your hands at a stationary position, slightly apart as we reach. This exercise, again, this is going to be a little bit fast, and I want you to act like you're passing the ball. So you're going to pull it into your waist and then push forward and bring it in. Notice on that push that I'm hinging slightly forward from my hips. Hinge forward, pressing the ball out in front of you. And out, bring it in. Pass that ball quickly. And 3 more. And in. 2 more. Bring it in. Last one right here. Now I want you to reach out to the side, swing the ball around and bring it back into this other hip, and then reverse direction. So reach out to the other side, swing the ball around forward and back in. So the ball is at, or your hands, right at about chest height, shoulder height, as we swing it around and your upper body is off balance as we're swinging around. Keep your hips stationary, firmly planted in the chair. Reach out, swing it around, and back in. Reach out to the side, swing it around, and pull back in at the hip level. Out to the side, swing it around and in. Out to the side, swing it around and in. Out to the side, swing it around. We're going to do one more to the right and left. Reach side, swing it around and in. Last one. Reach, swing it around and in. Great. Let's do some diagonal work, starting with goalpost arm, which is right here. One arm is bent like a goalpost, with or without a ball, a teddy bear, a bandana, socks, whatever you have, but you're right here. And keeping this arm bent, you're going to cross the ball down and tap the other hip and return. So feel this rotation in the upper arm. It activates different muscles in the shoulder. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall. Just bring that arm across and back up. Tap the opposite hip and return. Tap and return. Tap, 4 more, and 3 more, 2 more, last one, right here. Now, same arm, reach up high like you have something on the shelf that you're gonna reach, and I want you to bring it in and put it over here on the floor beside you. Keep those hips down, hold on to the chair if you need to. And to modify this exercise, have a smaller range of motion, keep your arm bent. You can just do it right here with this small cross-body motion. But if you have a better range or a larger range of motion in your shoulders, reach all the way up like you've got to get something high on the shelf. And then you're going to put it down here along the side of you in a basket. So reach up here and put it down here. Reach up high, cross body, press down to the side. Keep those hips planted. Hold on to the chair if you need to, or challenge yourself a little bit more with the hand on the hip. And down. Reach and down. Reach up and down. Reach, cross the body, press down, side, 2 more, up and down. Reach and down. Let's switch sides, starting with the goalpost arm right here. Cross body and tap the ball on your opposite hip or your hand and back up. Tap the hip and return. Hold on to the seat of the chair or hand on hip. Tap and return. Cross body, tap and return. Tap and return. Cross body, tap and return. Tap and return. 2 more. I think I lost count. Anytime my mind wanders, I lose count like that. Next exercise is the reaching tall up here on the shelf, cross body, place it down here. So your torso is doing a twist. Reach up here. It's a gentle twist as you reach up. And then a twist across body as you press the ball down to the side. Make sure your hips are firmly planted. Reach and twist. Reach and twist. Up here, down to the side. Reach long and tall, cross the body, place it down to the side. 4 more, and down. 3 more. Down, 2 more, last one, right here. Great job, excellent. And what have we not done? Let's take the arms without a ball because we're gonna reach and pull elbows sitting tall. We're gonna reach our elbows behind us. So what I want you to do is start with the arms out in front like you're holding onto a rope. I don't know if any of you water ski or What else would you hold on to out here? That's all I can think of at the moment. So you're holding on out here, but you're gonna pull one elbow back and then return. And then we're gonna alternate. So the other side, elbow back and return. Pull that elbow back and return, alternating right and left. Nice and tall. Elbows remain at chest level or shoulder level. Pull back and return, palms facing the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Pull back and return. Pull back and return. Let's do 3 more right and left. Right here and return. 2 more. And here's the last set, right and left. Right here, return, right here, and return. Hands on the shoulders. This is an advanced move. Hands on the hips for a lower level move. Hands on the thighs if you're just starting out. The exercise is called Good Mornings. We hinge from the hips with a flat back and a lengthened spine. We're just gonna bow. So that looks like this, forward and up. Now you really work your hips and your lower back on this exercise if you're not using your arms for support. So you hinge forward and bring yourselves back up. And on the return, as you're lifting, you're squeezing with the hips. You're gonna feel that through here and up through your lower back to bring your body back up to a vertical position. This exercise is often done with weights, and people who are doing weights are holding them up here on their shoulders. This is a much more advanced move. And if you're just starting out, use your hands on your thighs for support. Bow forward and help yourself to press back up into a vertical position. Be sure your diaphragm is lifted. Hinge forward and return. Hinge forward and return with a bow right here and lift, bow forward and lift. Let's do 2 more. Forward and lift. We do this with weights in the Wednesday class. Forward and lift. But weights are always optional in that class. So if you enjoy this, but you don't want to use weights, feel free to come to the Wednesday morning class anyway, and you just don't have to do the weights. You're still going to benefit from that class and those exercises. We need to finish up with our core training by focusing a little bit on our hips. So we're going to do a hip series. It's going to start out slow and gradually increase in intensity and range of motion. So you feel free to stay where you are most comfortable. And again, with the starting position, sitting nice and tall, hips firmly planted, you can hold on to the seat of the chair if you need that extra support. But if you're challenging yourself a bit more today, hands on the hips will work. And it's a heel forward and back, alternating, heel forward and return, heel forward and return. So we're just beginning to activate the hips, feeling a little bit of movement here by extending our knees. We're also working our quadriceps on this leg extension, very slight leg extension. Out and in, out and in. Now feel free to stay right here at this level, this range of motion, if this is comfortable for you. But the next level is going to be a fully extended lower leg. And that's going to look like this. Extend and return. Lift and lower. Right leg, extend and bend. Lift and lower. Keep breathing. Do this exercise with control, kicking forward, but you're controlling the movement both on the lift and on the return. To make the most out of any exercises that involve strengthening, moving slowly is the key. You will have much more success with a slow and controlled movement than you will with quick, rapid motions. So lifting and lower, take it out and in, Just 2 more to the right and left. Make sure you're sitting tall. You always have to remember that posture. I give frequent reminders because I feel like it's so easy to let go of that and just focus on the muscle that you're training rather than remember that really everything has to be in alignment and that you're really activating all those muscle groups to make the most of these exercises. Next exercise is going to be marching in place in the chair. Again, you can hold on, you can place your hands on your hips, but we're gonna just see if you can clear your foot from the floor. So it doesn't have to be very much of a movement. We're just lifting. Are you able to do that? Feel the hips working now. You're really using your hip flexors, which is the muscle in the front that allows you to lift your leg in this manner. Lifting, right here. Tightening those hip flexors as you lift. You feel that muscle contracting. Lifting, right here. Hold on to the chair if you need that little bit of extra support. It's right there for you. Let's just do 4 more. That's 4 more to the right and left for those of you who know me. 3 more. 2 more. And last one, right and left. Now we're going to do a whole series. And the series is going to be a heel tap, a leg extension or kick, a knee lift, and then we're going to cross over and return. So heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, cross your leg and return. If you can't do the leg cross, because I've had a couple people let me know that they're not able to move their legs in that direction, just sit out that part or do another kick to the front. Anything that doesn't serve you that I demonstrate in my classes, feel free to take it out. Please don't do anything that doesn't work for you today. So let's do this right and left, alternating legs. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. 4 more sets of right and left. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. I hope you're enjoying this today. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. 3 more right and left. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. 2 more. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Here's the last one. I hope you're still with me. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Last one. Heel tap, leg extension, knee lift, crossover and return. Yay, you did it. Excellent. Let's have a nice big inhale and release. We're going to do our alphabet stretch and strengthening for postural correction. And here's what that looks like. We're going to do the letters Y, W, T, and L. And as we do each of those positions, I want you to think about pressing your arms back behind the center line of the body. There's not very often in our exercises that I encourage you to reach toward the back, especially with weights, because you don't have a lot of control. But what we're doing today is tightening and accessing the muscles of the spine that become lax and weakened by postural insufficiencies that occur throughout our lifetime from hunching over, working at a desk, driving a car, holding a purse, carrying babies, reading, all those things that we do forward send us into this weakness across our upper back and shoulders and a tightening through the chest. So this exercise opens the chest and pulls, works on, strengthens those muscles in the back that pull our shoulder blades together and help keep us upright and vertical and strong in our posture. So let's start with the Y position. So our arms are lifted right here, and then you're going to just gently press behind your midline of the body. So behind the ears here, pressing and reaching back and feeling this in your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are sliding in toward your spine, as well as the mid-back. Feel a tightening and a strengthening through the mid-back as we hold this position. And then gradually, slowly, bend your elbows, continuing to press down and back, going into the letter W right here. My palms are forward, the back of my hands pressing toward the back wall, but behind the midline of the body right here. And I'm holding that for both strengthening and stretching. Feel that open up across the front of your chest wall. And now reaching out into the T position with the arms open side. Can you press those arms back behind your body like a bird in flight? I am Batman. Arms open side, right? Open wide. Shoulder blades pulling in toward the spine. And finally on the L position, my elbows come in toward my waist. My thumbs point toward the back wall. Palms face upward. And I am pressing my forearms toward that back wall. Press, press, press. Feel that stretching and strengthening right there. Let's do that series one more time and then commit it to memory. Do this every day. This is a great exercise. You are really working on the strengthening here of those muscles in your upper back. Now, again, I would tell you that if you have discomfort in your muscles, take a day off. Don't exercise through discomfort, okay? Lift. This is the Y position right here. Pressing those arms toward the back. Press them back behind the midline of the body, but you're sitting up nice and tall. Don't let the head go forward. Don't raise the shoulders up by your ears. Make sure your shoulders are pressed down and back. You're lengthening in your neck, sitting up nice and tall. Diaphragm is lifted. Bring those elbows down and back in the W. W position is right here. Out in the T position, press those arms back. Press, press, press. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, back behind the midline of the body. And finally, the L position, thumbs heading toward the back, palms are lifted. Palms are up, palms are facing upward. That's what I meant to say. They're not lifted. We're not holding anything. Right here. And release. That was a great stretch. That's one of my favorites. It does so much good, strengthening that posture and stretching the parts that become lax and allow us to do this hunched over position that we really want to avoid. It makes us look older too, and it gives you a sense of weakness when you're in that hunched position. You want to always have your posture nice and tall, straight and strong. Let's relax and do some stretching. I will then give you a closing meditation and some positive affirmations to take with you into your day and weekend. Reach up, stretch long and tall. Diaphragm is lifted, shoulders are relaxed. Stretch to the right and the left. One arm at a time, just reaching tall, right and left. Right here. Reach. Tall, and 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. And release. Let's take your right arm, reaching out to the side, up overhead, and all the way over to the side. Use your supporting arm to hold on to the seat of the chair, giving your body some support. Make sure your torso is facing forward. We're not twisting. We are flat faced forward with this plane of our body facing forward, arm up overhead. Feel the stretch right along the side of the body from the armpit to the top of the hip. You're going to feel that lengthening through that area of the body. Reach side, lengthen, up overhead, and release that arm. We're going to do it now with the other arm. Reach side, up overhead, all the way over, and using this arm for support by placing it on the seat of the chair, keeping your body facing forward. This arm is up, elbow up over the ear as you reach side, and you feel that stretching between your armpit and your hips. And release, stretch long and tall, all the way up and back. Let's do just a little bit of shoulder rolls, because we did work our shoulders quite a bit today. So a little bit of range of motion, gentle stretching by making these circles. Just a couple more, and I'm going up around into the back. If you have creaking or grinding or discomfort in your shoulders, make it a very small range of motion. It's never good to work through creaking, grinding, or any discomfort, but simply make the range of motion smaller and take the movements more slowly right here. And let's reverse direction from the back and around to the front. I just have my hands resting right here on the top of my thighs while I'm doing this exercise. Round to the back and front, just 2 more. Last one, and release. And let's just have a relaxing sit in your chair as we do some breathing exercises and have a final positive affirmation as we do a little bit of meditation. I'm going to have a little drink of water to start. So we're sitting, find yourself in a comfortable position in your chair. If you're comfortable closing your eyes and listening to the sound of my voice for this brief meditation, you can go ahead and do that. If you're not, find a spot in front of you where you can focus your gaze. Maybe it's a picture on the wall, a painting, a spot on the floor, an electrical outlet, just something that you can focus on as you listen to the sound of my voice. Begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the normal rate and rhythm to your breathing. For most people, breathing happens naturally. You don't have to really think about it, it just happens. But it is something you can control. You are able to control the rate and depth of your breathing if you want to. Sometimes your body prompts you to take a deep breath and sigh. That might mean that your muscles or your brain need a little bit more oxygen. And when your body prompts you for something like that, be sure to listen to your body's promptings. let's take some positive thoughts with us into the weekend. Success is an inside job. Success in my morning workouts starts with a positive attitude, a can-do attitude, the idea that I can do this. And you've proven that today by showing up. And I thank you for that. And I hope that you feel good about yourself for this success this morning. I forgive myself and move on. Some days I don't feel like working out. Maybe I don't want to do the morning class. For you guys, you have that option. I don't. So I'm always here. And, to be honest, I do love it. But I get that not everybody feels that way about exercise. So if you've skipped a day, maybe you signed up and then you overslept or you just didn't feel like doing it, forgive yourself, move on, and pick it back up when you're ready. Holding on to feeling bad about that will not serve you. The important thing is to just move on, let it go, take the next day. I am in charge of my emotions. They are not in charge of me. That's an important thought. Emotions can sometimes really take us off balance mentally. They can distract us from getting things done. They can overwhelm and overpower us. And emotions are unique to each individual. What might make one person cry doesn't make another person cry. So you have to be in charge of your own emotions, learn coping skills to deal with them. And remember, they're not in charge. They come and go like waves. That's part of my counseling stuff, sorry. Today, I release the need to be in charge of how things should be. You know how you think to yourself a lot of times, I should go to the store. I should eat more vegetables. I should drink more water. I should request a video recording of Stacy's morning fitness so I can do it again over the weekend. Well, you know what? You don't have to do any of those things, and you don't have to tell yourself what you should do. Just accept each day, thought and feeling as it comes to you. Be joyful and move on. And I hope that today's exercises have made you feel some joy and brought you some success and a little bit more confidence to face the rest of today and the weekend. I'm going to go ahead and approach the camera and the screen here so I can share my closing videos with or slides with you. So here are my thank you screens. And once again, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for the feedback that you guys send me. I love hearing how you're having an increased range of motion in certain areas of your body. I love hearing how the hip stretches are really beneficial to some of you with sciatica. And I also love hearing how you're feeling more balanced, coordinated, feeling more fit and healthy. And if you have some suggestions for me or some specific feedback, I appreciate that as well. So thank you once again. The best way you can thank myself and any of the guides here on Get Set Up is by sharing your experience live with others, with your friends, your family, your community, or on social media. If you're active on social media, you can use the hashtag #GetSetUp. You can use the @ @GetSetUp. And if you're not on social media, no worries at all. Email Liz directly, liz@getsetup.io. And this is Liz right here. She will receive your messages, your email. Send her pictures, stories, any type of feedback about this class and others. And if you're looking for more opportunities to get moving today and over the weekend, look for the Ageless Grace class, exercises for the body and mind. look for the line dancing classes, and there's also yoga classes now that you can look for. Oh my goodness. What happened here? Oh, well, I apologize. I lost my slides. My mouse doesn't allow me to go backwards. But just remember that you can email help@getsetup.io to get a recording of this class, to do it again over the weekend if you so desire. And share your thoughts and your feedback. Look for the email that's going to be coming to you from Get Set Up, which will give you some key takeaways from today's class. We'll offer you some suggestions of other classes that you might enjoy, as well as provide a link where you can send your feedback about today's classes. So again, thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay strong. And I will see you all next week in Morning Fitness. Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everyone. Bye.